Ernie Johnson welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm here with Shaq and the Jet. In a few moments, we'll be sending you out to Miami as the Heat go up against the Golden State Warriors. Well, for the Warriors, they're looking to come out strong and make their mark early. They have to look at this game as a great opportunity to do just that. A few moments here before we start the game, let's talk shooting guards. Kenny, some have said the talent at that position is the weakest it's been in some time. Which young shooting guards do you think are poised to fill that void?
Well, James Harden's already there. You know, we're talking about Kobe and D Wade's departure as the top guys, so to speak. Klay Thompson, versatile shooter, defender, two-way player, as you love to call him, Ernie.
You know what you named two, Kenny? We're going to take it to 5. I'm going to give you 3 more. Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
Tough as nails with a growing offensive
like him.
game. My homeboy down in Orlando, Victor Oladipo.
Ooh, already?
Defense and athleticism, yes, already. And at the last spot, Andrew Wiggins, young fella with all the potential to do it all.
Great potential. A little too young, Victor and Andrew, but they're on their way.
Let's send it down to Kevin Harlan as we approach the tip.
Nothing goes together like the Heat and Miami as we get ready for an interconference contest here at the American Airlines Arena. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan. Joining me, Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and courtside Doris Burke. And so the tip-off, it's Miami. All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. So for the Golden State Warriors right now, Thompson is the 2 with Barnes at the 3, Green at the 4 with Bogut at the 5, and it's Curry in at the 1 spot. Greg, after a run of 10 playoff trips in 11 years, the Miami Heat missing the postseason last year. They'd end up a game back of the 8th spot.
What's hard for the Heat, Kevin, is that they were in the playoff picture for most of the year, and as the season wore on, they slowly fell out of that top 8.
Whiteside against Bogut. Whiteside kicks to Wade. Inside, here's Dragic. Now here's Curry. Bogut in the corner. Golden State moving the ball around. And stolen by Whiteside. On the wing, Dang. Whiteside is screen on Barnes. And it's Harrison Barnes with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. And about a minute gone here in the first quarter. Dragic kicks to Wade. 6 to shoot on the wing, Dang. The fadeaway. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
You know, guys, for the greater part of last season, it appeared as though the Heat were playoff bound. Even with the players they lost, most figured they would be playing postseason basketball. Boy, last season, Hassan Whiteside made a huge splash in the NBA. Big blocks, big rebound totals. But he had some head-scratching moments as well. Missed his share of action due to suspensions.
Now here's Dragic. Bosh, that's the pick for Dragic. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the strike for 2. That's on Andrew Bogut. And G.A., as you said with Whiteside, his fiery attitude flared up a few times last season, and it hurt his team more than once in Miami.
No doubt. It's something that he has got to work on. I mean, he's proven that he can be a big-time player in this league, but he can't have the mental lapses that get him tossed from games and hurt his team.
And he makes both free throws.
Boy, I tell you, the Warriors did something that no other team had ever done before. They ended the regular season ranked first in field goal percentage and field goal percentage defense. Essentially, they were the best offensive and defensive team in the league. Remarkable.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Kevin, thank you. I caught up with Eric Spoelstra. A big factor in this game, he said, is how well they do to contain the young shooter Klay Thompson, saying Thompson can really give you trouble coming off screens. We've got to have all-out energy fighting to stay on his hip, and then we need to pressure on the ball handler to try and delay the pass. Kevin, both jobs are hard.
Thanks again, Doris. Last season for the Warriors really dominated from beginning to end to lead the league and Greg, both offensive and defensive efficiency.
And Kevin, a lot of people knew the Warriors were good at offense. I mean, but they've been equally as good defensively over the past few seasons. Kind of flying under the radar for whatever reason. Not the case going forward.
Curry from beyond the arc and then some. Curry's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. The Heat have gotten only 1 of 6 shots to drop for them to start this game. They set the pick. Curry against Wade. He feeds it to Whiteside. And so the ball out of bounds. Bogut touched it last.
You know what? A low percentage pass on that one, but sometimes it's worth the risk.
Well, that time the risk did not pay off because it was well defended.
Joe Johnson, he's checked in for Miami. Then for the Warriors, Spates checked in for Bogut. Iguodala comes in for Barnes. And it's Livingston in for Curry. And some changes here for the Heat. Stoudemire's checked in for Whiteside. Winslow comes in for Luol Deng. And it's Richardson in for Dwayne Wade. And Golden State also making a change. Barbosa's checked in. 1:52 left to play in the first. Here's Johnson. Miami no good on that time either.
You could tell he assumed he'd be able to beat the defensive coverage even though it was all over. Well, I think it's been said about 1,000 times now how Coach Spoelstra started as a video coordinator with the Heat, but he's been with the organization for so long, they are starting to become synonymous.
Now here's Dragic after the miss from Andre Iguodala. Pass to Richardson. Johnson against Spates. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Stoudemire. The shot's good on the assist by Johnson.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop. Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
There's a minute left to play in the first quarter. Dragic kicks to Richardson. Johnson sends the screen for Stoudemire. He dishes it to Johnson. They get it back. Here's Dragic, and he gets the bucket.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
And it's Miami with the rebound. .30 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Rebound by Iguodala.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
On the wing, Green. Again, the miss by Green. Richardson. Shot is off. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Miami ahead. They're up by 1. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. And now a chance to hear from Chris Bosh about what it meant to him to become an NBA player, the fulfillment of a lifelong dream.
I was obsessed with the NBA as a kid, and just like I would have died to get in that locker room, you know. So I always have a moment just sitting around and, you know, just not taking things for granted and really taking everything in. And, you know, I couldn't have written the script any better.
What a great cut from Chris Bosh. That's the kind of guy you can't help Greg, the love for his attitude and ability to be, you know, in touch with that kid he once was. I know you played the same way. Chris Bosh is living the dream like you did and loving it.
That's a great point, Kevin. And I think most of the guys in the league feel that same way. I mean, they may not be able to say it or articulate it as smoothly as Chris does, sure. but inside every NBA player is a kid who's still thrilled to wear the uniform and play the game they love.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And when you consider how the Heat are doing, guys, what jumps out to you, sketch-wise?
They're just very aggressive on the offensive side of the ball, attacking the rim in this first quarter. A lot of trips to the free throw line.
Taking full advantage of playing at home, and the fans have really helped them here.
So for the Golden State Warriors right now, he has the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson at the guard spots. Iguodala out there with Justice Ezeli, and it's Rush in at the small forward position.
And guys, Andre Iguodala entered this league as an athlete with raw skill. And bit by bit, though, he refined his game over the years, except in the one category, free throw shooting. In that 1 years of his career than he has been the last 5.
And both free throws good for Iguodala. And we were talking about Iguodala's free throw shooting. It really is a miracle. He's become so efficient, Clark, in every other area of his game. But last year, in his 11th season, he shot the second worst percentage of his career.
Sometimes, Kevin, it's simply a matter of confidence. You miss a few and it gets into your head, and before you know it, the harder you're trying, the worse it gets.
Rush the pass to Thompson. Beyond the arc. That is good. Thompson's got his first 3 points of the game.
Well, here in the second, not as listless. They're showing some signs of life offensively.
You know, steadying themselves. After a tough start, they're back on track.
And Miami calls their first time out of the...
They can't guard us on the perimeter. Spread the floor and isolate up top. Spacing, fellas. Spacing.
He has never had a problem knocking one down.
Well, the first player in league history to notch 500 made threes in his first 3 seasons in the league. That is remarkable.
The Warriors making a switch here. Barnes is checked in. Bosh, the screen. Wade kicks to Richardson. Dang, and the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Teng's got his first bucket in this one.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
And for Thompson, his three-pointer was his calling card early on, but I love the way he's expanded his game every season. He's become a very good defender and broadened his offensive game as well.
And here's Richardson. Harrison Barnes getting it to go from deep. There's the dish to Dang. Whiteside sets the pick for Dang. 5 on the clock. The drive by Wade. A rebound by Ezeli.
You know, and speaking of Thompson expanding his game, he's also come out of his shell a little bit. Very quiet early on, but he has gotten more and more comfortable in the league and becoming more outspoken.
And stolen by Barnes. Dishes it to Ezeli. Kicks it to Curry. Launches it. And it's Whiteside with the rebound.
Boy, he got a nice looking stroke. That almost went in.
Yeah, and a lot of times he'll still knock those down no matter how good the D is.
Now here's Whiteside. Richardson kicks to Bosh. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here. A lot's been made of the Heat fans in the past for walking out during the finals game where they looked to be out of it. But credit, you know, the Miami Heat fans, Greg, with last year sticking with this team.
Yeah, and in all fairness, I would have walked out as well because I thought it was over. But with LeBron out of town, a lot of Heat fans could have jumped off the bandwagon. But you know what? They stayed with it. So although the weather is fair, the fans are not.
Oh, well said.
Thank you.
The Heat trail by 5. We've got 1:55 left in the first half. Dang dishes to Dragic. And Steph Curry with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Johnson comes in for Chris Bosh. And Winslow subbed in for Luol Deng. And Golden State also making a change. Sean Livingston, he's checked in for Curry. And McRoberts kicks to Dragic. 5 to shoot. The 19-foot shot. Johnson can't get it to go. Warriors leading by 5. And it's Clark in the corner. There's the pass to Livingston. Some nice passing by Golden State here. Green passes to Bogut, and he throws it down hard with one hand.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Here's Dragic following the score by Golden State. Impressive fadeaway right there. And it's 6 points for Wade.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that. Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
And the basket by Johnson.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them. But, boy, that was a nice job.
Now, here's Green. Bogut kicks to Livingston. There's Green with the 3. That drops, and it comes off the assist from Livingston. Green's got a couple of three-pointers in the second for the Warriors. The Heat trail by 8. Here's Dragic. Laid outside. And it's sent back by Bogut. They recover it. And that does it for the first half of play. Warriors lead by 8. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Hey, Kevin. Well, Coach, with this type of ball game, what needs to happen in order for you to pull out a win tonight?
Well, we have to play through some of the tough times, okay, whether it's a missed call or whether missed shots. This is a passionate game, and we got to stay the course.
Coach, thank you so much. Guys, handling both adversity and prosperity, so crucial.
Thank you, Doris, and we'll be right back after halftime for the start of quarter number 3.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Ernie Johnson along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Golden State found themselves in a close game in the first. Their largest deficit of the period was just 4 points. They were right there within shouting distance the entire time. They had some very nice stretches of play in the second quarter at both ends of the floor and got out to a well-deserved 8-point lead by halftime. Hey, big fella, what's your take on Golden State so far?
Well, the shots were droppable. I mean, they was just dropping out of everywhere, dropping out the ceiling, dropping out the popcorn guy, man's hand, whatever. It didn't matter what the defense was. They found a way to get a good look almost every time. They just got to be patient, take as long as they need to keep finding those high percentage shots.
And Kenny, what are your thoughts on Miami?
Can this team please get fired up on defense? I mean, get angry, get upset. Guys are way too soft and giving up way too many good looks. At some point, you got to draw the line in the sand. Be like, okay, who's crossing this line? If you're coming over here, I'm taking a hard foul, and I'm going to resist you on defense.
That wraps it up for halftime as the game is just about to get going again in the third quarter. We will see you later.
second half beginning in just a moment.
Nice quarter for Green. He has 8 points, and he got 2 baskets from out in three-point land.
And I'm sure they'd like to get a few more of those out of him.
Warriors leading by 8. The big men are Bosch and Whiteside. Wade and Dang are the 2 and 3. Look at that shot! How did that go in?
How about that?
Oh!
And Steph Curry, 6'3" and about 195. I mean, a slender frame. You look back to high school and college, and that was one of the question marks. Did he have the strength to succeed?
And here is Curry following Chris Bosch's 3. Bosch against Green. And there's the call by the official. They'll count the basket here following the goaltending call.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
The Heat trail by 10. Bosch, a screen on Thompson. Outside Dragic. Stolen by Thompson. Puts the move on. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. And speaking of Curry's slight build, he's worked up and bulked himself. He's added some muscle. He even got up to 200 pounds, I think he said. But he didn't feel real good, Clark, at that weight.
Yeah, it's not about the weight, Kevin. It's about strength. You need it to fight through screens and attack the rim. And he's clearly put on the strength he needs to play at his highest level.
And both free throws good for Curry.
And remember, you go back to when Steph Curry was in college, more of a shooting guard at Davidson, but he's worked relentlessly to not only improve his ball handling, but his vision. And now, all of a sudden, he's one of the most elusive ball handlers in the NBA.
Timeout called the Warriors. And Curry, certainly, Clark, a magician with the ball in his hands. He can really supply the terrific handle, razzle-dazzle moves, crossovers. He has it all.
He sure does, but on occasion he can be a little loose with it and turn it over some. That's been a focus both by him and the coaching staff. Attack, but do it with precision.
Andre Iguodala. He's checked in for Harrison Barnes. So it's the Warriors now. Iguodala kicks to Green. Screened by Bogut. Green dishes to Bogut. The 3 ball. Can't hit. Nice D from Dang. The Heat trail by 10. And here we go with Dang running it up the floor.
I'll tell you, Luol Deng is not exceptional in any one area, but really doesn't have any weaknesses either. I think he's been one of the most complete small forwards over the past decade in the league.
Talking about Luol Deng, his consistency year to year has been outstanding. Over 11 seasons, Greg, if you look at his averages across every category, they're remarkably similar.
And here's a guy who can score from anywhere. Great mid-range game, makes plays for his teammates, rebounds at both ends. He is versatile and bankable.
Now, here's Thompson. It's stolen by Dragic. That's the Heat on the break. Bosch leading the charge. Richardson, no luck.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
It's tipped. And the official signaled the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now. Dragic kicks to Bosch. Pass to Dang. Bosch, that's the pick for Dang. Back to Bosch. No good. And Golden State will come the other way. And up the court come the Warriors on the break. And Green gets it to go.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
The Heat trail by 10. Bosch, the screen. Dragic against Thompson. And it's Dragic off the drive. Here's Whiteside. Green with the rebound. Golden State's gotten a positive outcome on 7 of their 14 three-pointers in this game. Not bad at all. And yes, sir, that one drops.
You know, basketball can be a thing of beauty, and the Warriors show just how gorgeous ball movement can be last year. Every possession looked like a well-orchestrated concert. It was incredibly fun to watch. Not so much fun, probably, to coach against.
Timeout called the Heat. Well, the Warriors did zip the ball around very well last year, Clark. They led the league, as Greg was just talking about, led the league in assists per game. It wasn't even close. Over 27 assists per game as a team.
Yeah, 28 times they had 30 or more assists. In 2014, the team that led in that category was the Spurs. They did it only 16 times.
Wow. And Miami making a change here. Johnson's checked in. Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. Richardson the pass to Johnson. Good ball movement here by the Heat. Whiteside kicks to Richardson. Shot clock at 5. Here's Dragic. Warriors with the rebound. Green's got his third rebound tonight. Thompson. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
Another bucket added to the lead. They've been the better team in every facet.
And in my opinion, you get extra bonus points, extra eye of the beholder points when you do it the way they're doing it on the road. That's special.
A different look for Miami. Stoudemire's checked in for Whiteside. And Winslow subbed in for Luol Deng.
You know, the Warriors took some flack when they passed on the chance to trade for Kevin Love. But I really think that the rise of Draymond Green as their stretch four-man made the decision even better and also kept their cap situation far more flexible.
Here's Thompson. Justice Winslow picking up that last bucket. And here is Johnson. Dragic with it, and Curry picks him up defensively. Iguodala with the steal. From deep. The rebound by Johnson. And Draymond Green won't give you the superstar numbers of a Kevin Love, but he's got a deceptive impact, Clark, at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I call him a value-utility guy because he does a little bit of everything that brings value to your quest to win. His shooting has steadily gotten better. And while he's not an all-star yet, some of his total contributions on the floor, impressive.
They get it again. The Heat trail by 12. There's 37 seconds left in the third. Pass to Johnson. Great D that time from Green.
You love the closeout on that possession.
Excellent defense, active, and he made it a very tough shot for him. He just has not been able to get into that groove yet, guys, but as a whole, it hasn't affected them too much.
Johnson with a screen on Curry. From deep. And there's Johnson. That's good on the assist by Dragic. Johnson's got it back down to within single digits for the Heat. Iguodala outside. And nothing is falling for him right now. The third quarter comes to a close. The Warriors on top. They lead by 9. Back after this from the American Airlines Arena. The fourth quarter just moments away now as we welcome you back. The Heat trail by 9 on the court for Golden State here in the fourth. Green at the 4 with Bogut at the 5. Livingston is out there at Barbosa, and it's Barnes in at the 3, the small forward. Here's Whiteside, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the strike for 2.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the D.
Yeah, really left him no choice there, Greg. He had to foul and keep him from converting the easy bucket.
And let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for the Warriors.
What a tremendous showing from the three-pointer all through this game.
You know, something else I've noticed is just how many of their baskets have been set up by assists throughout the game.
So he picks up just 1 from the line that time. You can point to any number of things, Clark. The Warriors did well last year. Their play on the road being one of them.
Well, the Warriors were exactly road warriors all season long, partner. Hit the ground running and finish with the league best 28 road wins.
Now here's Dragic. Harrison Barnes missing his lash. And it's right side off the drive. And that one's good. Warriors leading by 6. Livingston dishes to Green. He kicks it to Barbosa. Back to Green. Pulls up. Nice D from Bosch.
And for the Warriors, they would go on several road trips undefeated last season. Still, the only time they looked vulnerable were games on the road.
It's deflected. And Whiteside again.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here. And, you know, with the Warriors on the road, they would occasionally dig a hole they couldn't get out of. Still, hard to critique a team that was so dominant in every facet of the game last season, even on the road.
And the Heat call time here. When you think about Sean Livingston, you think about the career that might have been an absolute rising star after being taken Clark fourth back in the 2004 draft.
Kevin, he was averaging over 5 assists a game as a teenager, and his shot was improving every year. Then the devastating knee injury. Just great to see him back playing basketball.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Well, guys, I was able to listen in on what Eric Spoelstra was going over with his team in that last huddle. He told them, hey, guys, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. We're still alive in this thing. All we need to do is rely on each other. Let's stay aggressive, stick together, and play as a team. We're coming back. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris.
And getting back to Livingston, he's had comeback after comeback. I mean, each time he'd start to flash those unbelievable movement skills, he'd get injured again. It's a shame because he was on the path to becoming one of the game's great young point guards.
Warriors leading by 4. Barnes passes to Green. He's looking for Bogut and finds him. To the paint, and that'll be Golden State as it goes out of bounds. Warriors retain possession.
And for Livingston, last season with the Warriors was a dream. He got to back up Steph, so he got to play against second stringers, and we got to see flashes of his dominant traits again. What a happy ending for him.
Now here's Barnes. There's Green with the 3.
Here with the lead, they'd really like to finish this team off. They just haven't knocked down the three-pointers at the same percentage that they did in the first half here in the second. So we'll see what happens going forward.
Wade kicks to Bosch. Whiteside sets the pick for Bosch. Back to Wade. And he drew the blocking foul. He'll go to the line for 2. And it goes on Draymond Green.
Personal foul. Second team foul. Warriors foul call. Draymond Green.
First free throw is good. Some changes for Golden State. Thompson comes in for Ian Clark. And Curry subbed in for Sean Livingston. And Wade drops them both.
Boy, they came out of the locker room at halftime with a much more physical disposition than they had in the first half.
And that helps, Clark. They've gotten extra trips to the foul line, and they need that to continue if they're going to get back in this game.
Now here's Dang to tie it up. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. And it goes on Draymond Green. Makes it, and the next one could tie it up. Tied up with that one.
He's really the guy you want on the stripe in that situation. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He's clutch.
Golden State's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. And that one's good.
He's shaking off that slow start, giving them a boost here in the second.
1:58 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Dragic dishes to Wade. Shoots from 12. And he hits the jump shot. Wade's got 6 here in this quarter.
And you've got to love their energy right now. They got hot when they absolutely had to.
And really the focus right now is to stay hot. Not much time left to complete this comeback, so they've got to get it done now.
Now a timeout called by Miami. They're losing by 4.
They can't guard us on the perimeter. Spread the floor and isolate up top. Spacing, fellas. Spacing.
Yeah, I think that's a wise timeout.
And part of it, too, Greg, was he saw some things going on out there that he didn't care for.
Andre Iguodala. He's checked in for the Warriors. .144 left in the fourth. Bosch, a screen on Curry. A drive by Wade. Dragic with a wide open look. And a kind goal that time off the rim as that one falls. The Warriors lead. Outside Curry. Feeds it to Thompson. Curry passes to Green. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Curry's got 6 assists in the game. Now a timeout called by Miami. They're losing by 4. 1:19 left to play in the final quarter. The shot by Wade, wide open. No good from outside. Warriors leading by 4. And there's the feed to Iguodala. Curry. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Andrew Bogut. That'll be his second foul of the game. For Miami, they've gone 5 of 8 shooting as we've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. Wade climbs in, and that one's good. Wade's got 10 points in just the second half.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Textbook. Really, when you look at how they're playing, they are having their way down low.
He feeds it to Dragic. Outside Bosch. Wants to get it back to the right side and does.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. And it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Man, this fourth quarter has been tremendous. They have been exceptional from deep.
Yeah, a bunch of their points coming from long range here. A major barrage.
Fires from the line. And it's Wade again missing.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the deep.
Two-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And so they foul intentionally. It's the first. That increases their lead to 6. And so he drops them both. It's a 7-point game.
And as long as they can keep doing that kind of work at the foul line, this lead will be safe.
And the Heat call time here. They trail by 7. 24 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And here are the Heat now. Here's Dang. Off target at the rim. There's 18 seconds left in the fourth quarter. A shot by Thompson, and no one's around. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in.
That one will seal the deal there. They've exploded here at the end.
Boy, I love the serious killer instinct they've shown. Finishing strong.
Green slams it home for the putback.
And the fans already heading for the exits. Clearly not pleased with the way things turned out today.
Well, Greg, this was a well-deserved win. I mean, they came into this building and acted like it was their home turf. I mean, they were the ones calling the shots and controlling everything.
So we see the Warriors taking the game here. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Yes, Kevin, thank you. I'm with Klay Thompson. As a unit, the team seemed to have a cohesive approach out there. How important was the lift you got from the bench?
Just do it as a team. You know, it's not an individual effort. We're a real deep team this year. We got a lot of guys who would start on some good teams, so we just did it collectively.
Thank you, Klay. We so appreciate it. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thank you. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you later.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Many thanks, Kevin. So now we move on to our Jordan player of the game, Stephen Curry. He put up a new season high tonight, and if he keeps shooting like he did tonight before the season's over, he might top it. A big key to his team's victory here. And Shaq, I can tell you want to say something. Your comments?
There was nothing they could do to slow him down, Ernie. Man, you go into a building on the road and completely control the action like he did. Only a few players could do that, Ernie. I'm impressed.
I will say this about Steph Curry. There is no player in the league more capable of single-handedly taking over a ball game than he is. What I mean is, Steph Curry's hot. It's hotter than anyone else is hot. He can beat you with his feet, his mind, his shot. The only thing you can be sure of is that he will beat you.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. From myself, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew. Have a wonderful evening.